This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Monday, December 19th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From Al Jazeera, pacifist Japan unveils unprecedented $320 billion military buildup. Japan has announced a major military buildup and their intent to invest $320 billion in their military over the next 5 years. They plan to stockpile supplies and munitions, develop cyber warfare capabilities, and work with the United States and other allies to deter threats to the international order. This is a radical shift from their current self-defensive military focus, and it will make them the 3rd biggest military spender in the world after the US and China. This change of stance is reportedly a response to increased regional tensions and the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. China has made evident their displeasure about this announcement. From Axios, Senate passes $858 billion defense policy bill and stopgap spending fix. The Senate has passed an $858 billion bipartisan defense policy bill that, among other things, would increase U.S. military funding, authorize new weapons, and end the Pentagon's COVID vaccine mandate. This bill still needs to be approved by President Biden and the House before it becomes official. This legislation includes additional funding for Ukraine, updates for the 1887 Electoral Count Act, authorizes money for military equipment for Taiwan, and provides funding for critical minerals for U.S. defense manufacturers. The bill also amends the military justice system and includes provisions to speed up environmental reviews for major energy projects. The U.S. military was already many times better funded than any other military on the planet, and this increase in funding adds to that monetary lead. And from CoinDesk, Binance Proof of Reserves auditor Mazars pauses all work for crypto clients. Mazars, an auditing firm, has paused all work related to proof of reserves statements globally, including work with clients Binance, Crypto.com, and KuCoin. Mazars found that the Bitcoin reserves for these exchanges were over-collateralized and are concerned that their reports are not always accurately interpreted by the public, which could lead to the unintended implication that these platforms are definitely safe, which is not an implication they feel comfortable making. This comes in the wake of crypto platform FTX's collapse and the arrest of the company's former CEO for fraud and money laundering, which has incentivized surviving crypto exchanges to provide proof of their holdings. This attempt to reassure would-be investors may have backfired, though, because the company hired to do that reassuring is now saying they cannot be sure these platforms have the reserves they say they do. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.